Welcome back. We've spoken about how a funnel can help you reach your goal of making more sales. And for each of those objectives, there's a different type of funnel that can help you hit each of the subjects. So these are the main funnel types. There's a list building funnel. So like I said, you can have a funnel that is helping you grow your list because you want to increase this number of people that are interested in what you have. And for that, you need a list building funnel. There's the email funnel, which you're building rapport with the people that are now on your list. You've captured these leads, but now you want to get them to trust you. They know you, but now you want them to like you want them to trust you before you now pitch them the sale. And an email funnel is usually perfect for that. There's a self-liquidating funnel, and a self-liquidating funnel here describes the fact that you're trying to liquidate the amount that you've invested in advertising, usually. So if I spend $1,000 on ads, the self-liquidating funnel will ensure that I've put out a very low-priced product that is helping me recover the money that I've invested in ads. So a self-liquidating funnel helps you break even, and it helps you acquire customers at no cost. And don't worry, just chill because I'm going to describe how that works. There's a webinar funnel. A webinar funnel is typically used for really high-end products. Same thing for the application funnel. So let's look at each of these funnels. The list building funnel. This basically takes people from content. So this content could be like a post on your page, or you run an ad with a piece of content, and then people land on an opt-in page. This is where they see that valuable information, they're interested in it, and they give you their email address, and they land on a thank you page. You follow up with the list building funnel by just sending them an email to say thank you for signing up. Here's your free download, or here's whatever it is they signed up for, and that's what the list building funnel is. Pretty straightforward. An email funnel. This describes when people sign up to your whatever content you're putting out, they get a welcome email. They get 2 or 3 emails that is just giving them valuable information, helping them solve their problem, taking it further, asking them questions. Nurture emails, that's what it's called. And then maybe by the 4th email, you're pitching the sale, you're introducing your product, and it gets more intense maybe by the 5th email, the 6th email. So you start by welcoming them, you give them value, and then you start to take it to another level by pitching them whatever offer it is. And so typically these emails will contain a link that takes them to the sales page and the order form, where those who are interested can now make payments, and it takes them to the order success page. That's an email funnel. The beautiful thing about an email funnel is that it features in literally all the types of funnels. Because even when you use a list building funnel, somewhere down the line you will still need to use emails to follow up on the list that you've built. And then there's a self-liquidating funnel. This funnel is a money-making machine, really, but in the sense that typically it costs money to acquire customers. So think about the fact that if you want to build your list, you're spending money on ads. But a self-liquidating funnel ensures that you're recovering that money back, and so you're acquiring customers at no cost, literally. You have content, right? But you send people straight to the sales page, and it's usually for a very low ticket offer, typically within between $1 to $39. A sweet spot for a self-liquidating funnel is usually like around $17 or $27. And you get people to pay for this, a very convincing sales page. So a common mistake people make with the self-liquidating funnel is you just send people, ask them to buy this thing, and you assume that because it's low priced, they're just going to jump on it. But a perfect self-liquidating funnel has like a really, really, really convincing sales page where you are literally over delivering on the value of this thing, and you're offering it at a very low price. Yeah. And so you send people directly to the sales page. Once they show interest, they click on the button, it takes them to the other page. And typically if you do not have other offers, if it's just one low ticket offer you have, nothing else, from the other page it will take them straight to the order success page, right? That's confirming their order. But a common way and a very good way to run a self-liquidating funnel is to give an order bump. So once people, get on the other page, there's going to be like this small box that pops up, beg your pardon, and asks them to upgrade their order. So if you're offering something that's like $17, it's asking them, do you want to add this to your cart? It's just maybe an extra $20 or stuff like that. And then this increases the value of what people have come to buy. And it's like so strategic because these people have already opened their wallets to say they want to pay you money for something. And you can capitalize on that and get them to add more to their cart. Another twist with the self-liquidating funnel is that even after that, so once they do this, their order is successful, but they land on this other page that is telling them, wait, your order is not complete yet. There's this other thing that you can get at this price. Maybe typically this would be like maybe at $60, $70, and you're asking them to add this. And so a self-liquidating funnel can have just one low ticket offer or a low ticket offer and then some tiny upgrades to increase the value of that entire sale. And that's how a self-liquidating funnel works. The next is a webinar funnel. So people from your content, your ad, your social media page or wherever, it takes them to a registration page where you're asking them to sign up for your webinar. And right from there it takes them to the watch page where they can watch the webinar. You also send them a link in their email that contains the link to the watch page. And from the webinar, in that webinar you'll be selling something to them. So one typical difference with the webinar funnel, you're actually bundling all your stuff up into one. With the self-liquidating funnel, you use this trick of you're offering a low ticket offer, but you also try to get people to upsell to your other offers. With the webinar funnel, you're putting everything into one. And so you have this webinar, typically anywhere around 45 minutes to 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, where you give immense value, you teach, and then you just give the hook. You pitch your product, and you're trying to get people basically to buy. They click on the link, they see your offer, and it takes them to the other success page. And finally, we have the application funnel. This is typically used for the very, very high-end stuff. This is where you want people to like call you because you want to get them on the phone. You want to have conversations with them. There are some very high ticket offers, like when you're talking like $2,000 and above, where people are not just going to buy from you because they are landing on your sales page. They need to like touch down with a human, with somebody on your team. And so from your content, it takes them to the sales page. And this person said, okay, I think I'm interested in this. And, they try to book a call. But before they book that call, you have a form configured to ask them a couple of questions. Because typically with high-end offers like this, you want to ensure that this person is actually the right fit for your business. And so after they book a call, you can choose to either approve the call if they seem to be the right fit for your business, or you send them sorry, we're not a good fit, and maybe send something else their way that might be appropriate for them, and then a thank you page. And so these are the various types of funnels. I will attach links. There are links below this video for you to see the various types of funnels, like just screenshots, so you can familiarize yourself with how these funnels actually look. So now that you've seen the various type of funnels, the question is, Kiva, how do I know which one exactly to use? Like, I hope I'm not about to get overwhelmed. No, you're not. So how do you choose the right kind of funnel? Here are the factors you need to consider. First, what stage is your business currently at? If you're just starting out, I typically recommend maybe you start building your list. You just want to get people out there that know about you, or you want to, just start building your tribe. Is your product ready yet? If your product isn't ready, you could also start building your list, or you could start with a self-liquidating funnel. So one of the things about a funnel is you can actually put out a funnel and you have people you're pre-selling your stuff. Pre-selling is actually a great way to validate. And validation basically means that you're trying to, confirm that, yes, you've done your research, but are people actually going to pay money for this thing? And so remember, we had spoken about the self-liquidating funnel, which is the one where you're putting out this thing, a low ticket offer. And, when you put out a $17 product and people, take money out of their pocket, it tells you that there's something there, and so if you're just starting out, if your product is not ready, if you're yet to validate, if nobody has ever paid you for your product, you might want to start by building your list, engaging with people, getting them to know you, like you, trust you. Or you start with a self-liquidating funnel where you put out this offer and people are signing up for it, but they know that it's maybe not yet ready to like a future date. And by the time you have like 5 people, 10 people sign up for this thing, you know that now it's time to start building the product. How many product offers do you have? So, like I said, the more high priced your product is, the more you the more elaborate a funnel you need, or maybe that's not the word to use. You might need to use a webinar funnel or an application funnel. So if you have like a bundle of many products, you want to go with a higher end kind of funnel, or you use the self-liquidating funnel where you have like you start to upsell them. So a self-liquidating funnel can actually be used with an email funnel where people have bought you a one-time offer and then you now start pitching your other products to them in an email. So that's another thing to consider. What's the value of your offer? I already spoke about this. So if you have the high-end offer, you're thinking the webinar funnel or the application funnel. And if you have low-end offer, the self-liquidating funnel will just be perfect for you. Now, rule of thumb here is, like I said, if between $1 to $39, the slow funnel, that's the self-liquidating funnel, perfect for you. Between $39 to $199, you can use the slow funnel. So remember that with the slow funnel, people get the low ticket offer and then you start to upsell and it really adds up. Imagine you start with a low ticket offer of $39 and then they add a bump of like another $40 product, and then there's another one-time offer that probably costs maybe around $70. So it really starts to add up, and if your product is like priced around this range, the slow funnel would work for you. Or maybe you just offer one product with your slow funnel and then upsell them in the emails. And then if your product is between 200 to 199, just go the webinar way, because people want to connect with you. If they are going to be paying you around this amount for your product, they usually need to touch down with you. And so a webinar funnel will be perfect for that. And the application funnel, if your product is like above $2,000, that's the kind of funnel you want to use. So regardless of which of these funnels you choose, sometimes you just have like various funnels doing various things for you, and you can connect your various offers using the email funnel. So the email funnel is usually perfect for moving people from one kind of offer to another kind of offer.